Good morning, good morning. What's up, bro? C-Bar, Purple Mango, Isaiah, One Texas X, Justin, Money Lisa, Divert, Jonathan, Sonia. Good morning, good morning. Yo, Rowdy's back in here. What's up, Foul? What's up, Terry, Nana? Good morning, Rowdy. Glad to see you in here again, man. Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Anna J. Good morning, Ashley. As you guys can see, we're getting a slightly positive reaction to the PPI numbers and all the different numbers coming out this morning. Nothing crazy though. We went up, tested 400, basically just rejected, and now we're kind of up a little bit of yesterday's open. So it looks like 398.50 is going to play a big key today. 397.70, definitely another key level from the previous day close. 397 area, another key area if we do see any rejection down. Sorry, I was banning somebody. But it looks like a breakout above this kind of pre-market high we have here. It's kind of about here. Maybe above 399.15 we can look for some longs. But it looks like we are better off just waiting for the 400, like I said yesterday. Which looks like we are definitely going to be trading under that. Good morning, Spillium. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, everybody who's joining. So the thing to basically keep eye on is 400. Keep an eye on that. If that can break out, we have 400.60, which is from the bigger time frame. Above that, we have 403.50. Of course, I'll probably tell y'all a level in between because you guys know me. I love to be passive. So I'll probably say 402 is a good first target if 400.60 breaks out. If we get the continuation of that, you do have 403.50 in the area past 402 for a kind of extended target out there. So look at that. Let's say bearish scenario, we break down. So we already talked about, I mean, upside's pretty easy. It's literally just 2 levels. Downside action, what is possible? There's kind of a gray area here, which I think a lot of people are going to trade into today, maybe. And I hope y'all don't. But there's an area between yesterday's open and yesterday's close that's really kind of a gray area. You know, nobody really has control of this. You know, there's a little bit of support here, but it's all choppy. There's not really anything going on. So I really wouldn't trade in between this area today, mainly because between the previous day open and previous day close, especially when they're close together, is a very, 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 very indecisive range. So do not trade in between here for the most part, but this is essentially where you're going to be looking for all of your moves to come from today. So I'm not surprised to see this being used as support, and currently have a higher low support right now. We have our supports to our higher low support, and it actually looks like it's going to launch kind of into the open. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But let's just say it doesn't. You know, it rejects for some reason, comes back down. Do not trade in this range. Wait for it to exit this range, retest under, break lower, whatever, catch support, move back higher. You know, wait for something. I would not just jump into plays in between that area. So, but that is essentially the plan today. I do like this over 400.60, 400 as well, basically. So we'll be looking above the previous day highs and 400 psychological level. It's a very strong level. It's also from the bigger time frame. We have 399.40, which if you guys want to check this out on the bigger time frame real quick. I was covering this in the power hour stream yesterday. We did the first power hour stream yesterday, so if you want to check that out, you can see it in the live section on the YouTube channel. I should have named it differently probably, but whatever. We'll be doing another one Thursday. I'm going to try to do them at least 2 times a week. But yesterday we were talking about how today's candle is kind of 50-50, you know, and that's before the news comes out and gives us either sentiment to the up or sentiment to the down. So far to the up slightly, but as you can see, if we get a lower open, which we're not, we're actually getting a higher open right now. If we were to get a lower open, we would need to really just kind of watch 396.30s, and that would be kind of our big, you know, telltale level. Do we hold here? If not, then we're probably going to go test 394. If we're not, then we're going to go test 390, 392 area, which is a needed gap fill. And then also to the upside, you have basically 400 in the way. You know, so on the bigger and the smaller time frame, 400 is a huge level that's in the way. So if 400 is broken today and we hold it with good support, or we break it with good volume, there's a good chance we could see 403, 405, maybe even 407 today. Again, I'm not trying to say this is definitely going to happen. I'm just saying what's possible. So keep that on watch if we do get the break to the upside. The downside, we have a lot of levels to look out for, as you guys can tell. But yeah, let's move on though. Let's go to some other charts. So let me type this up. And it's in bold again. You guys saw me click that B. Target 402, 403.50, 405. Below 397.70s. Target 397, 396.40. Below 396.40. More downside. All right. Good morning. It looks like I'm behind now. Good morning, 300. Good morning, Andrew, Zeke, Steve, Kid, Pike, Raphael. Looks like Max gets the plan. Good stuff, Max. Retyping it back out. It's always helpful. Good morning, Steven. Good morning, Devin. But give me a thumbs up or a hi or a yes or something, an indication that you understand what we're talking about here on the SPY bigger and smaller time frame. This is why I always cover this first, because it is the most important. But let me know you understand what's going on here. At least for SPY. We're going to move on to other tickers for a second, but I always want to make sure everybody understands at least what we're looking at for SPY. I mean, this is literally where where a lot of our bigger major confirmations come from, so might as well get used to it. Let's continue though. And right after I finished the SPY as well, looks like JBake just posted the cues. He said above 280-280s, you can target all the way up here. Below 281s, you have targets all the way down to 276. Not that big of a reaction after this morning's numbers coming out. 280-280s is the area to watch for bullish continuation today. Good luck. There you go, 280-280s. Definitely the key area to watch for a continuation by bulls towards 284. You could look towards 285. Or below 280.90s, where you can look for more downside action. So he's giving you really good plan there on the cues. Which again is the tech sector. So very smart to pay attention to those. 5-day, 5-minute. And it looks like, just like on SPY, we're going to be dealing with the bigger previous day high, as well as 72.75 for AMD. For downside, it looks like we do have, here's the previous day close, previous day open, previous day low. Whoops. Previous day low. So it looks like under 71.60 we can look for good short-term shorts towards 71, but we're going to have to look under 70.60s for bigger continuation down. To the upside, you have 72.50, 72.75, so we can definitely add AMD. Nvidia. Ooh, I like how Nvidia looks. I love that it's just kind of like up and flat. It's just flat. That's what I like about it, that it's flat. So we're going to definitely pay attention to Nvidia. 175.70. It looks like 175.50 is a good trigger level to the downside. 178.25 to the upside. We're definitely adding AMD or Nvidia, if not both. Looks like the TA from Power Hour streams looking pretty good. Like I said the other day, they crossed the 9 and 21 EMA with rising volume. I'm not surprised to see them up this morning. So yeah, and we did cover that pretty in depth on the Power Hour stream, so be sure to check that out. But there's a pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day close, which I doubt we even see these levels, but we'll see. We'd have to see the market reverse for Tesla to really come back down and test down here. But it looks like if they were to break 130-140s, they would get some downside. Above 137.50s, we can maybe see 140. So we'll definitely keep that on watch as well. We got 3 good ones on watch already: AMD, Nvidia, Tesla. I already like a lot of the trade plans from those two, or from those 3. Sorry. Previous day high, almost to the cent on that test right there. Previous day close. Looks like the previous day close is ending up to be a very, very strong adversary when it comes to choosing a break below. 135.90s for Apple is definitely looking strong. So I like a lot of these charts so far. It's set up very well. Everything's just kind of flat. Nothing's really ruined. 95.70s to the downside. Previous day open. Looks like they've had this problem before. You can see they kind of like popped up to here, held, popped up again, and they kind of had problems before continuing. You can see the same spot lines up with about here where they kind of hit this as support and then rejected from here. So it looks like, and I don't normally do this, but it looks like above 97.10, this can get going. So if we really want to add that level because of what we're seeing there, I like that a lot. So we'll look above 97.10 or under 95.70 on that one. Netflix, a little flat to the right. They are holding a little bit above the previous day close. Not by much, though. Previous day open. Looks like they kind of like Amazon. We're not adding a traditional level. There is a good resistance here where price kind of came back up, stopped, came back up, stopped. So it looks like above 328, basically 329, 328.60s. This does look good for more downside. I mean, for more upside, sorry. More downside, you'd probably want to see 323.60s break. You have a good early trigger level right here, as well as here. But I don't like that as much as the rest of those. Meta, Microsoft. They got 240.220s. They also have the 240.90s for downside, possibly. Could also just look at 240.40 or 239.66. Previous day open. All right, so let's go back through these and let's add some to the list. We're going to do AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon at least. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at BABA. Because if you guys remember from the yesterday Power Hour stream, there was a couple setups that we liked. And BABA was one of them because it has the inside candle from yesterday. So we'll probably add BABA if we have to add anything else. AMD, though, I like it above. I'll take this to the 1 day 5 minutes so you guys can see everything. Above 75 target, and that's when I got it back up. That's right. I remember it was like 74 something, but I want to aim for it in between. 73.50 is a good target first. Then 74, then 74.40. There we go. Below. Whoops, I'm blind. 71.60, not 70.60. 71.60 and 70.60. Downside. Nvidia, this was probably my favorite one. Nvidia. And make sure to drop a like on the stream. Good morning, everybody. Sorry if I'm missing out on you. I'm trying to type up the list right now, so I can't see you guys quite yet. But good morning. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. Make a list every day live on stream. So I like 180.20 as a farther target, but we'd probably need to choose 179.20 or 179 as a first target. So let me just say 179 and then slash 180.20. And then I'll say 180. What's the next one? It should be 182. No, it's 183. I'm just going to say 182. Below. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Sandollar. Good morning, Natalie. Good morning, E. Top of the morning to you. Good morning, Ace. Good morning, Wes. Good morning, everybody. Anybody I missed, I'm so sorry, but good morning. So 172.20 is the 172.70 is the optimal level. Let's say 174.60 first. 174, then 172. Whoops. 72.75. Alright, like that was probably my favorite one so far. Tesla. This one's a little tricky, but I do like it. Tesla. Above 137.50 target. I'm just gonna go out and say it. 140. 140 slash 142.50 slash 144. Below 131.40 target. 130. 128. 126. Apple. Did we like Apple? I can't remember. I do. I kind of like it that it's against the previous day high. Is this the right chart? Yeah. As I say Apple, a piece of news comes out on Apple. Apple just introduced its second generation HomePod. Who cares? Above 137 30s, target 138/139. Below 135.90, target 134.85/134.15. Amazon, did we like Amazon? We already have Tesla, we have two semis, we already have a tech. Maybe Amazon's not the best choice, as I'm already duplicating here. Netflix might be a good choice. I do like that above 328.60s or below 323.60s. It's pretty much a $5 range from the open. Meta, I didn't really like that one, even though it's flat. Microsoft pushing to the upside. That's a good sign for Apple as well. Square, Boeing. Let's look at that Bob plan we were looking at yesterday. Again, this is from the bigger time frame. We did a power hour stream yesterday, the first one. I did a poll on Twitter. I said if this can get 150 likes, that tweet ended up getting like 200 and like something. So y'all destroyed that tweet. But that means I'm gonna start doing them every other day. But one of them that we talked about yesterday was this inside candle on Baba, which essentially, and these are really easy to put rules around, but essentially you just watch outside of that candle. And as you can see, the outside of that candle is at 117 and 114.34. You can see they're kind of up close to the top of that previous day right there. They're trying to hold on top of it, actually. Previous day close way down here. Previous day open way down here. So nothing really helping us out there. But if you see a breakout of 117, that has a chance of getting a good secondary rally in for Baba. I'm not saying on the daily time frame it has the energy to do that, because it doesn't. You already have gapped up small body candles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a lot of gapped up smaller body candles up here, which essentially tells me we're overbought. So that doesn't necessarily mean it has to come down and test 108 instantly. This could take the course of a few days where they get a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a rip, a failed high, and then they come back down and do that. That could take anywhere from 2 days to 5 days to 10 days. It could take longer than that. So be very careful. It's not something that's just going to instantly happen all the time. But I do like that for an initial plan. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and post this. You guys got a lot more breakdown than anybody who's just going to read this text-wise. Again, I try my best to go over the same tickers, but you guys have been seeing lately, we've been going over all kinds of stuff. So it looks like during all my talking, SPY has picked up a little bit more. Haven't quite broken anything significant yet, but they have pushed up a little bit more. So buyers definitely have some momentum into the open today. Let me just post this for everybody in chat real quick. Send that. Should be good to go. We had 3 channels post this morning: Bueller TA, Top Watches, and BB Bots. If you have basic membership in chat, you should be seeing those channels now. All right, y'all have my full attention now. Good morning. Good morning. How was the power hour stream? It was actually really good. I had a lot of fun. I got to kind of cover a lot of the basics really, and I'll probably do that for a couple of the first streams. But we got to go over a lot of the basics. We went over a bunch of setups. Yesterday I talked about Tesla looking good for more upside. I was thinking more towards like 140, 145 possibly. Past that, I'm not going to sit here and make up stuff. We talked about past posts that I've done for the chat and for anybody just swing trading wise. The basics of what I do, what I look at, the routine of what I do when I look at those things. And yeah, but I would say yesterday's power hour stream was super successful. Regardless of how many people showed up and supported, it doesn't really matter. The stream itself, quality-wise, was really good. I had a lot of fun on that yesterday. We got to go over a lot of different tickers. We went over like literally 50 plus tickers probably. But yeah, I would say it's successful. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But that was pretty fun for me, at least. And just like these streams and those power hour streams, I will always go over SPY. I'm not going to sit here and ignore the major market component. You know, I'm going to look at SPY at the beginning. I'm going to kind of look over it myself to kind of give myself an initial kind of feel for what's possible. And then now when I'm on these smaller time frames, I don't feel so lost. I understand what's possible. UAL has an inside day too. Good eye, Satins. I think we saw that yesterday for just a split second. But good eye though, because yeah, there's a ton of inside bars yesterday. I think we found like 10 or 15 of them just across the list I did. But yeah, inside bars can definitely be dangerous. I can show y'all more information on them too. My friend Leland posted a lot of really good information. Actually, let's just look at that now while we're all waiting, right? Do I look at DXY also? I haven't really been lately. So no, not much as of recently. Did he do the outside or inside? He did the outside bar. Okay. Well, he's gonna do the inside bar next. But he does have information I can share. But this video is insane for the outside bar, so I would definitely check this out. I'm sure he'll get the inside bar done soon as well. I thought I had that backwards. How do you see the typed up levels? Thanks. Well, one, you could join the Discord and be a basic member, or two, you can just look at the bottom left of my current screen, where I have it shared right here for free. So, right there. Good morning, Sinful. Good morning, D-Touch. Thank you, Chuck Hall. I appreciate you. And honestly, you guys make me better, too. It's not like it's just me helping y'all thing. Y'all definitely help me out as well. Power Hour was awesome. It will take time to wrap the head around looking at that info in a different way, though, for me. Take your time, though. You know, it's not anything to rush. I think too many people see TA or just anything in general, and they're like, oh, I got to get on it now. I got to be a pro at it now. Like, no, take your time. It's definitely going to take time no matter what you're looking at. Yes, that's a basic member access thing, Satins. That's this channel. I'll show you. It's the keys channel. Whoops. Well, these are those, but there's a bunch of like old ones like right up here. You can see we've done swing trades on, that was a while ago, but we've done a bunch of swing trade PDFs, day trade PDFs from trades we've actually taken. Those had a lot of good breakdowns. There's a ton of other information in that channel, but that was essentially what I think is what you're asking, is what I was talking about yesterday. Good morning, AK Speaks, man. How you doing? Mortgage applications up 28% last week. Dear Lord. Uriel, you can just go to my channel and you can click channels. It's not hard. Go to my channel, you can click channels, and you can see Leland right here. But yes, I will relink his channel for you in the YouTube chat. I would legit go to every single one of these channels, especially these past like 5. You can see right here, because you got Daffy, a member of my chat, username, a leader in my chat, Sherman, a leader in my chat, Leland, a leader in my chat, and this is my backup channel that I don't upload on anymore. But you can see even my members make videos. Like that's the level we're on. We're not on this level where it's just me doing everything. Like, no, there's plenty of people in here posting content. Almost everybody who's in chat, you know, if you see someone actively posting, they're posting because they're actively in control of their own routine, but also enjoying helping others. You know, even if it's just posting and nobody really reacts, you know, it's still smart to be an active poster, to stay engaged, you know. And there's a lot of people like that in my chat now. You have to have basic membership. I literally just said. Good morning, good morning. What's up, Jay? Yeah, how you doing? Thank you, Yuri. Thanks for subbing to all those channels. Yeah, I mean, those are all the channels I support, at least. There's a few people there. But most of them are people literally within my chat, so that's 100% why. But again, all those dudes have insane videos. Like Sherman, he has like a couple of videos that are over an hour. You know, it's like watching a workshop video, which in my opinion, the workshop videos of my channel are the best on this channel. And he's literally posting multiple videos just like that, of that same level. It's crazy. And then username, of course, always been one of the best at breaking things down. Head to toe, from why did he enter, why did he exit, the thought process, you know, just everything. His channel is insane, especially for setting up how to trade options quicker. If you guys want to learn how to trade your options faster while you're on desktop, at least on Thinkorswim, he has an amazing video for that. No, I didn't mark that level, Matt Depoy. I didn't mark this right here because of this. If you see the level go past this, like to the left, it's not from here. This level's from a long time ago. I didn't mark that level because of the significant move in after hours. I don't care about after hours. And thanks to everyone. I learned a lot from reading live chat, listening to live stream, and reading all the posts in the Discord. I'm so glad to hear it, Gary. That's exactly what I want. I want a positive, growing environment. That's all I want. Good morning, Jazz. How you doing? Do I trade futures? No, I personally do not, but the guy who joins my streams every single day, and I'll be inviting him here in about 10 minutes or so, he does trade futures. Nerdy Bicep. I'm sure you're aware of him by now. Totally fine, Matt. But yeah, I don't really care about after hours of the previous day. As you can see, it means nothing. This is a great example right here. Actually, look, you know, you see price dip down, made a new low under the previous day low. That's significant, right? I think we can all agree making a new low is significant, right? But it happened after hours where volume isn't as present, right? And then you see price pushes up, holds support, pushing up now. You know, it's like, it's almost like that didn't even matter. You know, and that's what I tell a lot of newer traders too when they first start looking at this stuff, is you shouldn't really be looking at after hours anyway. You know, I don't care if you're in a position and you're just paying attention to it. You shouldn't be sitting here freaking out or getting excited because of what happens in the after hours, because that can just as easily be ruined the next morning in pre-market. So it's kind of a big no-no for me. Good morning, Cameron. Always glad to see you. Get my next video. My girl's been sick, so I had my hands full. Yeah, man, make sure she's fine. Hope she gets better soon though, Sherman. Sorry to hear about that. Good morning. I am yet to finish all videos. Thanks for the... And take your time, you know, don't rush it. Take your time so you can properly consume the info. It is a lot, you know, nobody's going to sit here and expect you to finish every video or every breakdown or every live stream like within a day or a week. You know, it's just impossible. So take your time. Never feel that you should be rushed. Never feel like you need to push yourself to keep going, you know, over and over and over, you know, repeatedly doing the same. You're just gonna make yourself tired. Don't do that. Don't force yourself to look through the info. Take your time. Trust me. Good morning, Will. Good morning, Jimmy. Good morning, Manny. Good morning, Jack hates Roblox. Or no, wasn't it Zach hates Roblox? It's not even Jack. Your name's not Jack, and you don't like Roblox. Top of the morning, Ruben. How you doing, boss? Nope, I did not do that yet, King Cabino. Good morning, King Cabino. Always glad to see you. And yeah, be sure to leave a like on the stream, guys. I see we have 80 likes, 210 people, 210 plus people in here. Let's try to even that up a little bit. Going over the first 30 minutes, looking at the setups of previous videos is always golden. Ooh. It is kind of cool because I think my favorite part about that, Cameron, is the fact that you can like kind of look at it before it happens, talk about what's possible, up and down, you know, don't be biased. And then afterwards, you know, you get to review, you know, how far off was I on my plan, or how far was I off, you know, of this or that, you know, how accurate was I? So it's really cool to kind of do that. That's my favorite point of going through different breakdowns before, during, after. It's super helpful to me, helpful to others. It really kind of makes you understand what's going on a little bit better. Good morning, Big Lou. Morning, Tulip. How you doing, man? The BB course really is an eye-opener. Great job. I appreciate you, Miles. Thank you for saying that. You did good for Power Hour yesterday. A lot of people showed. Yeah, I wasn't really caring about the numbers of people. I was just saying that there's probably not going to be as many people who show up for Power Hour, which is totally fine. But thank you, King Kabina. I'm really glad to hear that it was good. I didn't quite know how everybody reacted to that stream yesterday. I kind of just like talked and ranted and went hard, like literally from start to finish. It's weird though. That stream was literally like just an hour long. You know, it feels weird doing just an hour stream when we sit here and do like 3-hour streams like every day. And that one day, the last day of last year, we did like a 7-hour stream. You know, that 1-hour stream is nothing compared to these other streams, where it feels like, you know, you're here for a long time. 3 hours is like already kind of normal to me now. You know, so when we go over that, I can kind of tell. When we're under that, I can kind of tell. But yeah, that 1 hour, that felt crazy. It was like I just started talking and the stream was already over. Ooh, look, Isaiah took notes. Look, WBA, Honey, Baba, Cat, we're all good tickers covered in the Power Hour stream. Good stuff, man. And you saw how I was covering stuff. It's not just good for swings. There's also good info you get from yesterday's price action going into the next day. You know, you can kind of pick up on what to expect. Turn today my notifications for your streams. Tried to find yesterday at Power Hour. Will you do it again? Yes, I'll be doing Power Hour streams. I'm going to try to do them every other day. Not every single day. Every other day. So you'll expect at least Tuesdays and Thursdays. But there will be weeks where I see, oh, I should stream more or I should stream less. It really depends on what I see in the market. But I am going to try to do at least 2 a week on the channel each week. But yeah, we did like a poll and I said if this can get 150 likes, blah, 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 I'll start to do Power Hour streams. And the tweet got well over 200. So I will be sticking to my word and I will be doing Power Hour streams more. I wouldn't expect one today. I would expect another one tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a lot of really good things we can look at. I also like the timing of tomorrow for some overnight swings. So I think we'll catch a couple good ones. But yeah, not going to push myself. Just going to show up and see what I like, see what I don't like. Should you add the gaps for the zone? Wait, is it on the bigger time frame, the smaller time frame? Because smaller time frame, the gap's too small to even point out, really. If you're meaning from the yesterday's open up to here and the gap that's going to be on the bigger time frame, yeah, 100% add that into your plan, Colton. I don't ever do calls or puts off the open, so I wouldn't know what looks good for it or not. Microsoft did have a good rip compared to a lot of things. Essentially, though, you want to see them basically hold over 241. As long as Microsoft can hold over 241, they should see some good bounces. Steven, the Power Hour stream was on the YouTube channel public. No problem, E. And take your time. You know, we got today's stream as well, so take your time to watch it. But yeah, I think you'll get some good information out of yesterday's stream. I went over a couple examples as well, of examples I've actually traded and examples that we were just looking for, just to kind of show people what we like to look for and what we want things to look like before we get into trades for different swings. And I'll probably do that a couple times for the first few streams just to kind of get people on my page so we don't have as many questions moving forward. But we did a good job though. There wasn't too many crazy basic questions asked yesterday. There was just a bunch of, you know, kind of paying attention, and that was good because that's what I wanted. Bueller, can you tell me where we're going off of open to the exact cent? I appreciate it. I can't tell if that's a joke or not. I wish everybody the best today. I am so busy, so tuned in during a break. We'll be back on Friday, hopefully, with the new article. Awesome, Tobias. Take your time, man. We're definitely excited to read the new one. But yeah, Money Lisa, I'll give you the exact cent. Good morning, JN. Always glad to see you. Good morning, Neri. It looks like we're going to be opening around 399.30s. Very close though. Let me invite Devin in here. We only have about a few minutes now. Just for a small update, JBag did post another update on his Q post. We're currently sitting on top of previous day high. Watch for a break above pre-market high at 283.80 for continuation. So he's watching 283.80 for continuation by bulls on the triple Qs. Actually, let me get my headset on first. Square does look good on the daily. There's a few things that look kind of good from that stream. Square did look pretty good though. Okay, this music might be too loud for Homeboy. I'm gonna change the song. There we go. I'll have to show you all a meme that makes fun of the music I play in here. What's up?
Market a little bit.
Okay, here's the meme, everybody. Song request, trap jingle bells, and then he tags me. Because half the songs are like trap Christmas music. It's weird. Substack will be the new Twitter when Elon destroys Twitter. Yeah, probably. I'm putting all my chips on Substack. Let the bodies hit the floor. Anything in particular you're looking at, Devin?
I like Meta over the pre-market high. If you can get over that yesterday little hump going to right here at the 136.20, 136, get up to 137. If it breaks 137 with everything else, it's got a little upside. Like it's pre-market. Like Microsoft, but you talked that. Tesla obviously being up again, it's getting bullish. So see how much FOMO gets pushed into that and keeps flying, or are we going to come down and retest 131.70? Then Nvidia's got a pretty decent pre-market too.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. Nvidia is definitely my favorite one.
It had that huge move yesterday, holding a good range, so we'll see. That 8:30 action this morning was pretty wacky.
Wacky tobacco.
Yeah. XOM still holding up in a good range, but it needs to get over that yesterday 114 level if it's going to keep going to the upside. But it just keeps putting higher lows in. Yeah, PPI number. There's a couple other numbers that came out at the same time. We don't have another number till looks like next Friday. There's something. Not next, yeah, next Friday, the 20th. Numbers were right in line, so not giving the algos or anything a definite beat or miss, so they kind of just kept it as a nothing burger. Got 45 seconds to the open on the market. Hurry up and wait.
Ten seconds, finally.
Like Amazon and Meta getting a nice little pop on the open. See if they're going to continue with that.
Casino is open. XLP and XLF red on the open. Good call out, Isaiah. Good eye. Staples and financials both opening red. Everything else in the green. Healthcare is barely green. Industrial is barely green. Utilities are barely green. Everything else is a good moderate open so far. Tech's kind of dealing with their pre-market high right now. Discretionary, which is your Tesla, Amazon, Nike, Home Depot, McDonald's sector, they're not just battling their previous day high, they're well above it, and they're pushing through their pre-market high. It opens kind of what XLK is doing at the same time. XLC is going to have their previous day open, previous day high to deal with short term. Financial's still just dropping. So see what happens after the next 10-20 minutes.
Meta with that quick push to yesterday high. See if we can take that out in that 137 area.
Amazon got a good pop it open. Apple getting a good pop it open. Tesla not so much. Nvidia not so much. AMD did get a good pop. They're wicking back down. Microsoft also pulling down. So Apple and Microsoft not doing the same thing again. Good call out Sherman on the Nvidia AMD discrepancy. Good job, Rambo, on your swing. Mel's in some Tesla shorts. Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a little bit of a red open, at least at open, just because, you know, with such a good move, there are going to be people who want to take profits on that move. So I'm not really surprised by that one. Very indecisive open so far on SPY, as you can tell by the long wicks on both sides. Very small body.
Google not as strong as Meta. Microsoft not as strong as Apple. Apple's trying to break that yesterday high. Microsoft's flirting, coming down, trying to break it on the downside. Meta getting over that yesterday high. Look for it to pop to 137, 137.50 to continue now. Nvidia tested down at its pre-market lows, pushing all the way back up to opening price. See if that's going to start pushing up. Netflix breaking yesterday low, coming down. B breaking yesterday low. Tesla pushing back up. Got some stuff going up, some stuff going down. Nothing too for sure yet. Nvidia turning green. See if it pops it popping yesterday high. If it pops up pre-market high here, that's looking really good.
Super
Popping
indecisive
pre-market
candle.
high.
Super
On
indecisive
Nvidia.
candle on SPY 5-minute. AMD is not broken shit. Nvidia is not broken shit. Apple's trying to break a really good area. Amazon already broke a good area from open. They're just kind of in the middle of nothing now. Netflix fearing to break to 320s. 323s might see a good push down to 320 from there. Meta broke a very strong level. Microsoft still just selling off. Square just still selling off. BA still just selling off. Nothing new. Super indecisive 5-minute on the first candle for SPY. This tells us nothing. Oh, Money Lisa, the exact open today was 399.03.
XOM's got a nasty wick on the 10-minute back under pre-market high.
Don't give us two of these candles. Overnight Tesla calls you got for 47%. Good stuff. On me Schwab and 120% on Webull. Wow. Good job, Sandollar.
Netflix pushing lower.
$323.30s were the key level. $323.60, sorry, were key level on Netflix. Meta back inside yesterday range. Microsoft trying to be under 240.90s. Apple giving up some strength. Amazon giving up strength. Meta trying to give up strength. They're not doing too bad. Watch Nvidia under 175.50. Watch AMD under 71.60. Getting a lot of strong seller rejections here. See who holds up.
Got like a minute 30 on our first 10-minute candle.
It'd be funny if they reversed it all back up again, because it's the first 10 minutes and it's literally the epitome of the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Drop pop or pop drop. Amazon really keeping that seller strength though. They really just dropped all the way through that 97. Took out that previous candle completely.
NVIDIA 10-minute candle looking pretty crazy on the indecision side. Got that new 10-minute candle on the market.
Alright, now watch everything bounce super hard since it did nothing. I would like to see how the Apple Microsoft confluence continues or not. Because Microsoft didn't keep falling. They actually held really well in the 240-90. So there's a good chance Microsoft gets a bounce here. If Apple is to also continue higher, that's very strong for the strongest sector of SPY. The other thing I'd want to pay attention to, does Tesla keep selling? Does Amazon keep selling? Amazon pulled back up a little bit, but if that selling pressure continues, the discretionary sector is going to be weak. We already know the comm sector is already fighting itself because you had Meta do pretty good. You had Netflix reversing. So there's a couple things to look out for on a couple different sectors right now. NVIDIA looks like it wants to come take out 175.50s here. See if that ends up picking up or not. Yes, there is KK sound, just lately it hasn't been as accurate. It hasn't been as strong as it used to be. The previous day highs there. Let me look. Oh, I see what you're saying. Possible retest. You like that it held the previous day high on Apple. That is a good point. Sherman, good eye. That could give some good leeway for buyers on Apple. Nothing but lowering volume so far on the Tesla sell-off, I guess you could say. A lot of people taking profit, getting out of positions. But could be seeing a good bounce here if the volume does not pick up. Rising volume does not step in here. Buyers are going to want to take this back up to at least today's open. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a bounce here pretty soon if Tesla maintains like this. Especially with Amazon trying to hold too. If Amazon continues to hold, that'll be a good secondary kind of confirmation for Tesla possible bounce. Kind of the same TA I just said on Apple and Microsoft. Which Apple's getting a good move now. Microsoft's still holding.
NVIDIA back at that pre-market high.
Nvidia about
Popping.
to bounce hard. Look at that tight range. That was why that was my favorite one. Just so tight. It either breaks this level or it breaks that level. There is no other TA on that. Super easy to understand. Let's see if they get the strength to do it. AMD helping out a little bit. SPY also finally picking back up. Saw a couple sectors go red there for a second. Picking back up again.
Amazon trying to hold that pre-market high area. XOM had a nice retest, pushing back up towards 114.
Come on. Minute left in this 5-minute candle. Nice pullback on SPY on that wick. Apple's part of that cause. Meta still pulling back. Microsoft pulling back more. So Microsoft and Apple both hurting that little push there on SPY. BA got a good bounce. Square, a bunch of indecision candles in a row. 3 in a row now. Yeah, look at that pullback. Yeah, Apple and Microsoft really hurting that. You saw
Everything
Apple go
pulling
green to
back.
red instantly.
Google coming down, pulling Meta down with it. Looks like they're trying to catch up with Netflix, but Netflix is back at that yesterday's low coming up.
Yeah, they're trying to defend. Super indecisive open, though. We have 3 indecisive candles in a row on SPY on the 5-minute.
Nvidia did a quick retest again and is trying to get back above that pre-market high. Really look for it to hold over with volume. But right now it's still just trying to fight.
Yo, good stuff, Isaiah. Glad to hear that. And good stuff following up on the TA from the Power Hour stream yesterday. Great work, Isaiah. Like I said earlier, it's seriously the best help to be able to go over something beforehand, look at it during it when it happens, or if you don't have the chance because you're busy, totally fine. But then getting that review afterwards, reviewing what you planned, how everything happened, you know, how did it work against your plan or with your plan. It's really good to kind of get that before, during, after effect. Get the full understanding of what's going on. Plus, it helps you put your plans into practice. See if you're crazy or not. Cue the trap Christmas music meme. Market still has no idea how it wants to process all that inline information.
Next one, I'm starting to push higher towards its yesterday high at that 114 level. See if energy's going to start pushing.
And yeah, take your time, Isaiah. You have all the time in the world to find good trading opportunities and swing trades and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely 50-50 right now, so it's just better to sit on your hands. It's anybody's ball game. Tesla's coming down with weaker volume, but slightly moving lower towards that yesterday 131. Can't catch them all, Mel. Seeing your shit to call that out in the pre-market.
Would it keep falling, Mel?
Yeah, it's going down to that 131 area.
Still with lowering volume, too.
Mm-hmm.
Candle to candle at least.
Yeah, it's still lowered volume. Same with Microsoft, same with Apple, same with Google, all lowered volume. So you gotta wait till this volume comes in.
This is a wild open.
Yeah.
Someone's
Anybody
about to get
thought us?
chopped so hard it's not even funny.
We got a minute left on this 10-minute candle on the video. It's about to get back-to-back indecision candles. Same with SPY. 10-minute here.
Bullard said prospects for U.S. economic soft landing have improved, and that he suggests a 50 basis point rate increase at the next meeting as appropriate. I heard you there, Hector. I hear you there. Exactly, Max. I like how you're posting that. Good stuff, man. Chop at the top of the indecisive session yesterday. Small body doji got some congestion SPY. 100%, 100%. But good reiteration though, Max, of what you were posting. That's as simple as it gets. What you just said. If this crosses this and it holds and confirms, and probability suggests the next level target is in play, you know, blah blah blah, so on and so on. It's all conditional. If this happens, that happens. If that happens, this happens. You know, it's all conditional.
Apple making new highs. Nvidia coming back up. It's got to take out that previous intraday high now.
AMD testing previous day highs again. Nvidia's breaking out above 178.25. Failing to hold above still, but they are trying to push on the Nvidia chart. Apple's doing a great job of 137.29. See where they end up leading us. Is Microsoft supporting that move? They are short term so far. Nothing crazy, but they are short term helping. Good bounce by Netflix after the first 10 minutes dropping so quick. Square, you saw the indecision holding there. They're getting a good volume pop and candle pop over good levels. From good levels, you could see this was basically their last line of defense before falling. Defended that very well. Good job, Apple. Possibly saving the market. Semiconductors also trying to hold very well. That's AMD, Nvidia. Look how strong these levels are, too. You know, at any time, somebody could say, Bueller, where are you getting this random level from? Blah, blah, blah. Let's color code it. Let's go look. 3 years, 1 day. So this this level, is an emerging candle from August 20th, 2020. We're using a level from a little over 2 years. Pretty cool.
But I still ain't done nothing impressive. XOM rejecting that 114 yesterday high. See if it's going to hold up around the 113.50.
Nvidia wicked back down, not above 178.25 anymore. They're just still wicking it. Still, nice seeing that level get tested so quickly. Inside candle on Tesla. See you later, Rembo. Have a great rest of your day, man. Time to work. Thanks. See you later, Neri. It still amazes me how many people show up for pre-market prep. It really does excite me. It's really cool seeing so many people pop up for what I feel like is the most important part of the stream. You know, the information we have before the market opens, because that's where the proving ground is. You know, what's my plan to the upside? What's my plan to the downside? What do I think is going to happen? You know, regardless of my plan to the up and downside. Always planning both sides, trying not to be biased. You know, that's where the proving ground is before the markets open. Good rejection candle so far on Nvidia. Nothing crazy, but still a good start. Might even be leading them back down to today's open from that. Very good wick to the upside, rising volume. But again, a super indecisive open by a majority of the market so far. It's really anybody's game still.
They're going to do it to us all day.
I would think not. We do have a couple speakers today, so. And tomorrow we have jobless claims. I think there's another speaker on Friday.
Meta about to lose pre-market high.
Apple trying its best to be the one out of everybody that's holding. Saw Nvidia turn red there for a second. See if they end up popping back down to today's open or not. That'd be about 176.60s. All right, Devin, push the market.
Same, bro. JPM had a dip and rip. It's coming back up, and it seems to be bringing Brick B with it. If Brick B gets back over that pre-market low, that'll be good for SPY. XOM still holding up over pre-market high, but still needs to pop 114 yesterday high. Tesla selling off a lower volume, candle to candle again. So bulls just need some volume to pop on Tesla, and they could definitely get it going to the upside. Microsoft on lower volume. Meta's starting to pick up a little volume as it's trying to break this pre-market high, coming back towards opening price, but nothing significant. Hughes keep wicking off pre-market high, but still above yesterday high. You got to blow on it harder, I guess. Netflix is still looking decent. It made a retest of 326 there, and so now it's trying to take out that opening price. That's got pre-market high at 328.55.
New high of day, Apple.
It made Amazon get a little pop there, so even get over 98 now. Tesla getting a little green action coming in.
Apple kicking ass right now. Can Microsoft defend the previous day close at 240.40? Or will it continue to hurt Apple?
Starting to get some nice volume on the 10-minute with a minute left. See if we can get increasing volume. Same thing with Amazon, trying to get some volume as coming up to that previous intraday high, but still below that yesterday high. Q's retesting pre-market high. Netflix taking out opening price, now it just needs to get pre-market high.
Watch, Tesla's going to be right back to 137, or it's going to be below previous day close within the next 30 minutes. Two very aggressive potential moves on that chart. Apple, the lone wolf. Another high of day. Netflix recovered pretty good. Financials recovered pretty good. That's a good sign. Com's trying to defend their slightly green open. Microsoft curling up. That's a good thing for Apple. Apple continuing to streak.
Trying to get that yesterday high now.
Very good signs for bulls.
Amazon pushing higher, helping Tesla back up. Let's see if Amazon can get over that 98.89 area. Meta coming back up over yesterday high. See if we can pop that 137 previous intraday high and push towards that 137.50.
That was nice to see a lot of weights curling up around the same time.
I came up to that pre-market high and whipped off real quick. If we get over 400, we could definitely get a nice rally like Josh was talking about this morning. So we're going to see if we can get that. We need to pop this 400 with good volume. Amazon coming up, Apple coming up.
AMD trying to get going over 72.75.
Netflix popped that pre-market high and running towards 329, almost 330. Let's see if we go up tap 330, 180 area now. Got Q's over pre-market high now.
Microsoft trying to break over today's open. They tested it.
But we're not too much crazy follow through in volume.
Yeah, like Devin said, not much follow through. I do like seeing, not Tesla. I do like seeing Microsoft trying to get that curl up. They're wicking now, but they at least went up and tested today's open, so that was a good sign while Apple was trying to push higher. Amazon also did a really good job picking up at the same time that we were needing to see Tesla try to hold support and move a little bit. Again, not wanting to see them rally, but at least get a little bit of relief movement, and they have now gotten that. So, good sign for the Tesla chart. We'll see, though. We are definitely not out of the ballpark yet.
Amazon's got quite a bit of time left on this 10-minute candle, and it's starting to get increasing volume. So pay attention to see what Amazon does here in the next five or so minutes.
Dude, Apple's on fire. Rising volume through all these candles here. Amazon had really good volume. Netflix had pretty decent volume. Meta picked up a little bit towards the end there.
More on Pop 137 Meta. Meta's starting to get some shares taken out. Looks like they're popping 137 on Meta. See if we can get some volume in here.
Buddy Floors, you asked how am I getting flashing watch list settings. Go to the top right of your Thinkorswim, click Setup, click Look and Feel, and you can go adjust your settings in there. Look and Feel settings is what you want to be in, though. You can also change the spacing. Like, I actually have the spacing tight, but I have the letters big, so I can fit as much text on my screen as possible. I think you could even change the colors of certain things like this, like these parts right here that are black is normally like gray or whatever, blue. That's totally fine, Max. I appreciate the off-topicness sometimes. Having flashbacks of Dale Watson Made in Japan song. Yeah, there are some songs in here that are pretty like lo-fi Japanese sounding, and then there's like some Christmas trap, and then there's like some chill study sounding music. Like, it's weird. It has like a weird mix of songs in here, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. What's Taylor trading?
I think she's working.
Oh, never mind.
Nvidia's trying to pop that previous intraday high. See if we can hold above this with volume. See if Meta can hold 137. XOM still holding pre-market high.
Tell Taylor coin's consolidating.
Josh said coin is consolidating.
Good. Unfortunately, their contracts are like $400.
Yeah, it's because they've been
I don't know. I looked yesterday, and the cheapest one was $290.
It's because they've been rallying,
I haven't looked
so they're
today,
like way
but
more expensive now. The IV is through the roof on them.
I think they're going to keep squeezing them. Amazon coming up towards that yesterday high. Thanos, please get out.
Now the dog's trying to trade. Amazon's still pushing higher.
Yeah, that volume on the 10 minutes, nice.
Apple
on
tapped
Amazon.
out. Apple's tapping out. Nvidia, hold up. Nvidia might be the one. Rising volume, candle to candle. Last minute and a half of that candle. Nvidia possibly wanting to break out big time here. See if it wicks down here or not. Just checking a couple other weights repeatedly because I am a little convinced that Apple is tired.
It's
So I'm
SPY
wanting to
coming up to
see
400 with good increasing volume on the 10-minute. Not to cut you off.
Microsoft pushing more.
Amazon touching that yesterday high. Meta trying to push higher. Google's now at its pre-market high. Netflix still holding above its pre-market high. Financials slowed down a little bit. We really need to get over this 420 yesterday high now. Pushing higher on Meta now.
Yeah, see, Lee then just said 150% IV on coin. I mean, it's been breaking out. I'm not surprised to hear it has high IV. Sucks. Amazon flipping around, slowing down. Netflix slowing down. Slight wick on Meta. Microsoft wicking. Whew.
Right off. 400.
Everything's wicking.
Pick up with a shakeout.
Everything, that was crazy. Everything I just went to wicked back down like at the exact same moment. Yo, what's up, Jay? How you doing, man? I saw the blue name pop up. I was like, oh shit. $400 to 400.20 whack-a-mole zone, literally. Yeah, you didn't miss anything, Sinful. I mean, you missed kind of an exciting... Like, I'm not going to lie, this might not have looked that exciting, but it was a little exciting watching the weights work together, and then... Well, they were working against each other, then with each other. So I'm not going to lie, that was kind of cool, watching that go down. I nerded out over the sector movement there. Donald Trump prepares for his return to Twitter. He's already back on Twitter, he just needs to tweet. Homie's been cold shouldering Twitter. Which I don't really care. I think Twitter is great without it or with it. Doesn't really matter.
Tweet.
Tumbo finger. Nvidia just couldn't do it. Now let's see if sellers get some rising volume here for a new low on a lot of these charts, or are we just going to see, pullbacks to support with low volume? There's a few things to pay attention to. And every chart has a key level underneath. Microsoft has one underneath and above as they fight their today's open again and again and again. Just gonna stick on SPY. Okay, Daffy said run. Is she finally slowing down again? She finally tired from this crazy ass rally? I mean, it was from a good spot, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a strong area of demand here, so it's not from a random area. But just like, impressive rally. And look where it went to. You kind of have like the support of here and like the kind of the support of here. Look where it's in between. This is what a lot of people would call an imbalance area, which means sellers and buyers don't have any control here. It's really kind of a fight range where they just duke it out for a while. But right now it looks like they are approaching it as resistance right now. I'd like to see, are they going to pull back under 28.50 or not? But it already kind of looks like good risk reward for some shorts. You do have this gap here, so there is a lot of leeway for a buyer move to continue on a little bit more. So I would definitely not take that out of the equation. But that definitely does look a lot better now for shorts moving forward. Especially if they can exit that 28.50. Good eye though, Daffy. That's very clean. And yeah, I'll be sure to look at that again tomorrow in the Power Hour stream. I'll be looking at it again today, of course, but for the stream tomorrow, I will definitely pull run back up again. Because why not, right? Got some clean TA on that chart. I think I see things turning around again. Let's see if they have strength to go back to the upside now, since there's no fuel for the bottom. How's Tesla doing off that support? Still battling it. Good sign. This might end up being a really good buy the dip move here soon too, especially if they don't break this low here. You see them continuously hold. That's a good sign for bulls. The next sign for a buy the dip move would be to see if you can get some rising buyer movement to close over 134.60. So if you get a good push above that, you can almost be convinced that it's going to go test today's open. So most likely seeing that move as long as that base holds and as long as you get the rising volume over that intended level. Apple still holding a good pullback spot. Amazon basically battling their previous day high and open. Netflix still hanging around that 328.60. Hasn't really moved anywhere since then. Meta getting some more buyers. Boeing getting some buyers. How's that BABA chart looking now? Let me go look. They fell through the intended out or inside bar level here, 114.30s. No retest though. Just a good break under. Pulled back up in this exact the very next candle they pulled back up and recovered all of that loss. It's a very volatile chart today. SPY still having trouble with 400.
Meta's trying to make a new high, it just hasn't popped it yet.
Nvidia failing to break out over that area. Another wick down move. Tesla might be making a new low day here if it keeps moving like this. Netflix, good seller risk reward against 328.60s. Microsoft kind of looks like a little bear flag from this little move here from pre-market, and you got like this side movement here at an angle. Very ugly. Ooh, SPY pulling back hard. All those failed breakouts. Is that going to be the biggest candle of the day? So far it is. If it
Get some
closes like
volume
this,
coming in.
we need a close of a candle like this, though, not just a push. This could just wick back up if we're going off the history of today. Not a bad candle, already getting a little bit of relief bounce. Nothing crazy, though. AMD back to square one. Nvidia back to square one. Cheap-tastic, are you still in your Nvidia puts? Did you trim already, or are you just... What are you looking out for? I'm only asking because, yes, I remember you entered. And then we got this little bit of a push. It was somewhere back here you entered. I remember we got a little bit of a push, failed, and now you're back below where you entered. So that this should be good for you, position-wise. Okay, nice. I was just wondering if you were still in or not, because that's a very impressive hold. No reason to cut. Got a little scary there for you for a second, but they never closed over, so that was a good sign for you. It's a good hold. I was really just coming to give you credit, because that was a good hold so far. I thought that was interesting. Ah, so you're already starting the day kind of down. You'll recover. I know you. Scary AF. You got to think about it from a psychological point of view too, Cheaptastic. From a bigger money point of view, you know, you want to make this look like it's going to break out, so there's as much premium here as possible. So when the short does pop down, they don't have to take it down a mile. You know, they could take it down just to today's open and make a really good profit because there's so much bullish pressure stepping in, and there's not as much bearish. So when it finally does step in, they're taking out a lot of people. They're trapping a lot of money, a lot of premium. So and that's a very normal thing to see. When you see it like that against like a resistance or you see a support breaking, you know, they like to make it look like that all the way up to the very final minute. They're very good at that. But it makes sense, you know. You don't want to make it super easy or apparent to notice that a breakout's not or is going to go. And that's why you have to understand risk reward, risk management, you know, knowing where to place a stop loss. People who don't do that, they're going to always lose 100% of their position. That's a lot of people's problem too, Dustin. You know, I'll deal with it. You know, everyone. It doesn't matter who you are or how seasoned you are or how long you've been trading. You're always going to deal with that simple fact. You know, battling price action the way it is. It's something we're all gonna have to battle with. You know, kind of over time, developing not just the knowledge of saying, oh, this is where I should have a stop. Oh, or hey, this risk reward fits my account. You know, I like this a lot. You know, But over time, you know, that's when it becomes more apparent, you know. So you really can't beat yourself up, at least for a few years. You're not allowed to. Just because you are still trying to develop, kind of adding that into your process, and not just making it like a part of something like I have to stick to this to do good. More like I like this, you know, this is something I want to do over time. I don't want to just randomly trade, you know. But even then, you'll still take some losses, you know, and that's why that's important. But you have to understand, most people don't think like that. They don't think in terms of like, oh, look, there's a good seller candle against a really big resistance after this huge rally. You know, this is where I can start to look for a base build and see if it breaks support. You know, a lot of people look at that and they're like, okay, how can this go up more? You know, they don't want to do that switch. It's hard for people to make that switch. So that's why, again, I say the only way to really take out emotions is through time and process, you know. So give yourself both of those things, time and process. But everybody's going to always deal with that, you know, providing risk management for yourself, saying, hey, look, I don't think I like risking this much here or this much here. I think I'll wait. You know, that's so easy to say out loud, but that is so hard to actually do. And this is a huge problem for most people, you know, and it's just something we got to work on. Time and process, like I said. Good stuff, Dustin. You said, yes, I have faith, but I'm still doing the courses and paper. Very good. This is what I tell most people. Don't start off trading real stuff. And this is what most people do. They'll jump into these charts and they're like, okay, how can I risk money and learn? And they'll tell you all this stuff. And like, I understand. I literally used to have a hands-on job. I understand. You have to kind of do it to understand it. But in trading, that is not the way you want to do it. Jumping into a real trade is not going to help you if you don't even understand what you're clicking on. If your entire goal is I want to make money, you've already failed yourself. You know, you have to really develop a true passion for this through time and process, through a routine. Find something or find a good set of rules to stick by every day, every week, every month, every year. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because a lot of people who go on like a win streak, they get humbled very quickly, and that's where all those ugliest losses come from. And then it's like that trader doesn't even realize they just went on that win streak and they don't remember anything from it because that one loss completely effed them up. You know, so it's also a mental game. Protect your mentality.
It was not coming back up to that yesterday high with decent volume. Still quite a bit of time on this 10-minute candle. See if we can pop it. See if XOM can get over this 114 finally.
Super indecisive open today. Let's go from point of breakout to high of day. Broke under the golden pocket. They're up to the control point. See if they can get over that or if they're going to reject. Their rejection of 138 basically is not good for Apple. See, Nvidia is fighting to stay green on the day. Amazon, good movement to the upside. Tesla not doing that at all.
Nvidia still held with a higher low on the day coming back up. It's got to take out all those wicks at the top side though. Something to keep an eye on.
Microsoft's still weak on the day.
It was on popping that yesterday high.
Right as you said that, I was clicking the chart.
Yeah, it's getting nice volume here too. You made it happen, Josh.
I mean, the only two things that have moved today that actually look good were Apple and Amazon. Meta kind of moved, but it didn't really hold anything that well.
No, it's still setting up though. It's holding that yesterday high. Just got to get over that 137.50 now. There's a couple little hangups in there. It hasn't popped.
Poor Apple and Amazon working by themselves today.
And XOM, if it pops 114, that could get excited. So that's something to keep an eye on for help spy out. Google's right under pre-market high. So far, we just gotta wait a little bit more. I feel like if we don't get some upside action on some of these, we're gonna start coming back down. Tesla's right at that yesterday high. If it cracks that, Microsoft's right at pre-market low.
Nvidia, red to green to red to green to red. Yes, indecisiveness. Anytime you have long legs, write this down. Anytime you have long legs and a small body, the combination of those two equal indecisiveness. A lot of the time, what you want to look out for is a good confirmation after that. They can even be considered sandwich confirmations, sandwich candles, some people call them. Which, after a lot of these wicks, you got a good push into resistance, no close over anything, a good rejection, and you had another good wick, and we had some good movement to the downside, but we really didn't break anything. You know, we broke today's open, but we still haven't broken any of the movement underneath either. So we're kind of stuck between 398.50 and 400 right now. Microsoft trying to lose 240s. Could be a good droop for Microsoft here in a moment. Especially if Apple continues to slow down in reverse. That'll definitely help out the Microsoft push to the downside. Netflix losing all steam as they're re-breaking today's open. They broke it to the upside, breaking it to the downside now. They had a problem with that level that I added this morning. Y'all saw that. Could not get any good movement over that. Very rare occasion you guys will ever see me draw a level outside of the BB system or TA routine, but this Netflix level is too strong and too easy to see. I mean, you could clearly see there's a double top there from that previous day intraday movement, so it's going to need to be added to the chart. Plus, we didn't really have anything from here to here, so it made sense to find something in between. Meta pulling back pretty aggressively. Microsoft still under the 240s. See if Apple and Amazon pull back. Poor Apple and Amazon doing all the work today.
Meta pulling back pretty hard towards that pre-market high. Netflix pulling back down towards the pre-market low with Meta. Google holding up better on the comms. See if that's going to start losing that yesterday high.
Is Tesla gonna try to build a buyer candle here at support? We shall see. Pretty good
So I
pullback
have a
on
funny meme,
Microsoft.
Josh.
What?
So I thought of a funny meme for you. When there's wicks on both sides of the chart, it's like getting stabbed by a porcupine.
A porcupine?
Yeah, put like yeah, it looks like a little porcupine poking out on both sides of the chart on
Just have a
10
bunch of
minutes.
candlesticks leaving his body.
Yeah, leaving like the little pokies out on both sides.
Appy, it's a playlist one of my friends found. Oh, I called Darren my friend. Um, on Spotify. I can link it to you if you want. Copy link to playlist. It is pretty chill though.
Yeah, Matt, we had some inline numbers this morning, so they just don't really know what to make of it yet. The Bulls didn't get what they wanted, the Bears didn't get what they wanted, so we're stuck with this. We're kind of waiting on the Fed guys to talk. I think the one's coming up or one might be talking.
No problem, Appy.
Nvidia decides to exit out of its range. That should be a nice move. Even if it waits till tomorrow. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, for if Nvidia doesn't leave this range all day, I'll be very shocked, and I'll be even more shocked if it does that it stays in that range in pre-market the next day. Like, there's just no way.
That'd be a good move.
That'd be a
do.
crazy freaking move. I wouldn't even look at SPY. I'd just focus on Nvidia that entire day.
We're losing someone meta here at that pre-market high.
Yeah, Meta, Netflix, both not liking
Microsoft.
it. Microsoft.
Losing it yesterday.
Square. Boeing. And we're getting a lot of
Tesla
pullbacks.
might use, yeah, Tesla might lose that yesterday high level here. We were losing there yesterday high. Spot coming down. See if we can take out 398 now.
This week in 2017, Twitter shut down Vine. This is a historical week.
Sheesh. You remember the days of the Vine?
Man, shout out to Vine. Vine was the greatest quick little app that ever trended. Man.
Facebook really fumbled the bag with that one. Or Meta.
I was gonna say, you mean Twitter?
Or yeah, Twitter. I mean, yeah, Twitter. Go over bottom out.
Yeah, that was
Should have
stupid,
kept it
man.
going.
That was so stupid. You know what's funny too is like a couple years later that follow, Instagram Reels start going hard, and then everybody's copying Instagram Reels. When all of that was literally the idea from Vine. I mean, like, imagine if that idea had stayed up all the way till now. Like, it wouldn't just be trending; it'd be globally trending, like it already was.
Yeah, they're trying to take out opening price. My bad.
No, you're good. I mean, I'm talking about stupid Vine.
Tesla's coming down too through that level. Everything's coming down. It's all coming down. Easy to say. If you don't have the levels marked, mark the levels.
Yuck. AMD, good lower high put in place. Same for Nvidia. They just need to break support now. Tesla already doing that, jumping ahead of everybody. Apple pulling back very nicely. And everything's bleeding. I shouldn't say everything. I should say a lot of weights are bleeding. Yeah, no, facts, Dustin. That's what I was just thinking the other day. I didn't. It kind of hit me too. Like, if you've been seeing some, like, and I'm not saying popular movies, but there have been some decent movies that have come out over the past 2 years, and a lot of actors in them are from Vine. It's like, what the hell? You know, like, Vine people from back in the day are still around to this day. Like, that's how good they trended when it was trending to be on Vine. Like, a lot of those people still have decent acting roles somewhere, or, you know, jobs somewhere. A lot of them know how to abuse the short videos that a lot of people, because it's not just Instagram Reels. You know, YouTube has shorts now. Facebook has their own version now. Like, everybody has this quick video format for their platform, like TikTok, you know, because it's so popular. That's where the most clicks come from. So from a marketing perspective, everybody is aiming to at least have, you know, that short video, ha ha ha, quick reaction type format for their content. You know, so I'm not surprised to see, you know, so many of them still around. You know, when that's just not been more promoted, but it's been more innovated since then. You know, I'm not surprised to see that.
Like Nvidia's trying to lose that pre-market low, see if it takes out that wick right below from the open.
Misi. Yeah, Vine was ahead of their time. Be sure to drop a like on the stream if you guys are enjoying today's content, today's updates. Even though we had a bit of a, I'm not going to say boring open, it was a very indecisive open. We have finally had a decent move to the downside, breaking just kind of a minor level of the previous day open. That's all we've really broken so far. So we're going to either look for a good bounce from this area, or we're going to see price exit the 397.70, which is the previous day close, and then that will be tested and we'll see lower tests.
Pre-market low coming down quick. Microsoft pushing us lower, Tesla pushing us lower, Meta, Google pretty much getting a universal push. XOM's still holding up though. Financials coming down. Netflix coming down. Nvidia breaking down to that downside. Very good cheap tax stick breaking down for you. Breaking that pre-market low here with pretty good volume. Yeah, yesterday low now at 397. There you go, Noxta. 40% strong QQQ for 50%. That's a play right there. Why are we taking that pre-market low? Very aggressive here. Still pushing weaker. Meta, Google, Netflix all coming down still. Well, you took a lot of good trades today, though, man. So you can't get too mad about missing out on them. We can't catch them all. There's going to be plenty more. And Netflix is going to retake out this yesterday low. Berkby's trying to break that yesterday low. JPM's right there as well. So a couple things coming down to those yesterday lows. Meta and Google on their way down as well. Microsoft way closer than Apple. XOM still trying to break 114. many. You're funny. Meta's still pushing lower with Google, bringing the Qs down to pre-market low, see if they're going to crack. SPY's re-breaking pre-market low, see if we can take out this previous intraday low now. Got a quick little retest here. B pushing lower. Coming down, see if it breaks this yesterday low now, 397. Hit that 397.20. It's a good mental trade though, hybrid trading. You just got to write it down. You took the middle trade. Sometimes when you miss the entry, just turn it into a middle trade. Amazon about to break that pre-market high. Microsoft still pushing down. Use breaking pre-market low. Netflix re-breaking yesterday low right now. See if we can confirm under that. Take out the 322. Excellent. Potentially going to pop this yesterday high, 114 area. Holding it up better than most. Microsoft's still holding it up decent compared to a couple others as well. Meta's still pushing lower. Tesla's about to try to push lower, retesting that previous intra low. Am I cutting out Keanu? Sometimes I sit too far back away from my mic. Amazon's losing that pre-market high area. Mies, I think YouTube put it now, so if you don't have YouTube Premium, you get ads. I think they recommended if you have an ad blocker, it gets around it if you don't want to get YouTube Premium. But yeah, there's nothing really Josh can do about it. Netflix still trying to confirm under that yesterday low. JPM and the banks are right about the same area. We need them to break if SPY's going to keep coming down as it's breaking 397 here. I got a nice little push initially under 397, looking for it to confirm. XOM rejecting off 114. Meta's breaking pre-market low. See if we can get Google to do the same. You took some short trades. This is definitely a good time to start taking profits as we approach this 396.50 area. Microsoft pushing closer towards that yesterday low. Good stuff on scaling out hybrid trading. Looking real good. Let's see if we can take out this 396.50 here. JPM starting to lose its yesterday low now. B's almost at its previous intraday low. See if it's going to take that out. Netflix trying to move lower. Still needs to get under 322. Went back up towards that yesterday low after that test of 396.50. Matt recommend is between about 8 to 10%, but typically myself I do somewhere around 5%. Went all the way back up above that yesterday low. See what kind of retest we're going to get now. Nothing really moving too much to the upside. Berkby looking at 313 again. The video got that slight sell off, but it's trying to hold support here now. 75. So we'll see what it does. We're coming back up. Apple never looked terribly weak, and it's already coming back up. See if it retakes that yesterday high. If it takes that, it's looking still pretty decent on the day compared to everything else. So far, Meta's trying to hold pre-market low with Google. Q's new 10 minutes opening up right on that pre-market low.
Yo, I'm back again.
Back like he never left here whole time.
I put the arrow here, guys, by the way, because there is a heavy amount of buying pressure now at 396.40 with a nice hammer candle on the 5 minute. So we will be watching this, but really good sell-off. Did y'all see where it happened from? We came down from the previous day open and the previous day close. The only intermediate range that we talked about today when price was sitting up here bouncing, we talked about this area being kind of a no trade range. There was a good break under that previous day open and the previous day close into those previous day lows, and even the pre-market, or I'm sorry, the extended hour lows, kind of where that big jump came from initially. So pretty cool to see buying pressure popping up again where it initially came from. But yeah, getting some a nice hammer candle there with good volume.
Amazon holding up better than Tesla as well. So kind of pay attention to see if that's going to start perking back up. Justin, Thinkorswim's just the app on the phone that TD Ameritrade uses. It's still TD Ameritrade. That's just the app you download on your phone.
It's Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. It's just the application they use. Damn, there's some huge plays happening in chat today. Very nice. Check this out. Duke Bot is my friend Barry. Got some Roblox plays last night. He took a lot of profits at 130 for a little over 50%. or a little under, I guess, and then over 100% just now, so pretty nice on his part. And then we had the lifetime section. My friend Leland and J-Bake posted 2 different plays. He lost his first one for small losses on Spy, then got in again, got out for 50% on a trim, and then where was it at? Trimmed more at 67%, trimmed 77%, one more at 95%, and then he got out of his last one at 170%. Very good job. Didn't call out Tesla. He made that clear. But got into the Spy play live in the chat. So very, very cool. J-Bake was also talking about Microsoft under, what was it? 240. He was the guy, and that's why I was saying under 240. So very cool call outs by the chat today. As well as the swing from DukeBot. Very cool to see a bunch of the plays working out from the team today. The reason he liked Roblox, again, if you were in the Power Hour stream yesterday, you should understand this play at least a little bit. But the big reason he likes this play a lot, let me just add the top EMA, you don't need all of them, is it's very far from its 9 EMA. Got a really good gapped up small body candle, essentially telling him that it's a little bit overbought, and that it already had a gapped up small body candles into another one. Really big move there. So really good recovery move or reset move by sellers. Again, not crazy volume, but really good for a swing idea. So good job by DukeBot. He seemed to have done really good on that trade. Let me turn this back off.
Buy about to retest that previous intraday low.
Looks like they're trying to take out that buying pressure. We'll see if they can make that new low. Yep, there it is. Right as y'all said it.
NVIDIA coming down lower on that. Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, but still above his previous intraday low. XOM still rejecting off 114. Berk B moving lower with JPM, so that's really helping SPY come back down. Financials moving lower.
Yo, good stuff, Michael. Very happy to hear that.
Good spot to scale out here towards 396 if you're still in any positions.
Sheesh.
Blasting.
Huge pullback so far. Shut up, iPhone charging. Let's check out that bigger time frame. Of course, it's always easy to get lost. You can see we've made it down to the next bigger time frame level. But it's easy to get lost on those bigger, smaller time frames, I mean. So it's nice to zoom out when in doubt. You can see we've made it down to the next bigger time frame level. Looks like under 396.30's price can really get going down towards 394. So we'll be paying attention to that.
Looking off 396 now. Looking to go up and retest a little bit.
Good stuff, Mel. That's my boy.
Beating up on Tesla today, Mel. Leave some for the rest of us. Meta pushing lower. Apple starting to creep down. If Apple and Microsoft really start selling more than they are, SPY's looking ugly. Specifically Apple.
God, SPY pulling back still. Let's go through some of these charts and see how desperate. Oh, Cheap Tastic, did he get out of that trade? You still holding that, brother? Huge move to the downside for you from then. Good stuff, Jazz.
I can do intraday low. See how good of a push we get here.
Possibly breaking and holding under a very strong bearish level. If we maintain under 396.40s, we could definitely see another $2 drop here. Very quick move to the downside, so I also wouldn't be surprised if we got some sort of relief bounce or some sort of, consolidation period. That'll, of course, lead us into lunchtime. Lower volume will be seen. And that might make a really good end-of-day move to the up or downside, so that'd be really cool to see. Pretty good pullback, to be honest. If you go from the previous day close down to the bottom of that relief buyer candle that popped up, it actually did pull back up to a very good strong spot here at the golden pocket. Rejected, closed under the control point, and then that new seller candle came through. So that actually was a pretty good pullback. And that's what I would consider a more short-term pullback, again, because you're not getting the full retest of the previous day close or of, that area we talked about this morning. You're getting it from, more of a short-term spot. So if it feels like chasing, it's because it is a little bit. There was really only one short-term pullback. There wasn't really anything else there. Good break, though, under a good area that we talked about this morning. Again, you guys should always go back and check out the pre-market prep. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions that watch this, would say that the pre-market prep is the best part of this stream. You get the before information of me covering literally everything. I cover the up and the downside. I cover the levels on both sides. I cover what the levels are. So definitely check out the beginning part of the stream if you are interested in any of the information here from before the stream. I cover levels before the market moves, and then we look at them as they update. Really good start to the day, though. I like that we kind of had consolidation for a while, and then it started to move. And everyone's always so surprised, like, wow, that was so quick. It's like, yeah, there was a shit ton of consolidation for a while. I mean, look, before breaking range, we had over an hour of trading. That is a lot of consolidation for an intraday chart. So no, if anybody asked, are you surprised to see this big move? No, I'm not. It was going to happen eventually. That amount of consolidation will lead to a good breakout. So that was pretty impressive. And then seeing where it broke, you can see the previous day open, previous day close, previous day low here. You can see they broke that open, broke that close, then that's where they retested under for that secondary part, that second leg down. They kind of tested it from that next area at that previous day low. So that was pretty cool. To the cent, too. Plus the combination, of course, of our TA routine levels from the daily time frame. So again, kind of cool to see price history playing in our favor, really helping us out. Yeah, like Leland just said it too, but he said there was consolidation all day yesterday too, 100%. Yes, Val, that is.
Trying to wick off that 396 area again. A little bit of a battle going on down here.
Below 397.70s, target 397 and 396.40, which again is that combination of the yesterday open close and then the low under 397.70s. Even got a good retest there. Hit that 397 and 396.40, and now you're looking at the secondary part where you're looking below 396.40 for more downside. So I'm glad we talked about that this morning in that exact fashion. You'll always hear me in the pre-market prep cover the upside and the downside, so you never have to worry about being too biased. Again, that's kind of a lot of people's biggest problem, and some people don't even know it. You know, you'll approach a chart, you'll instantly be like, well, I expect most people to be bearish. You know, that's just because you expect that. That doesn't mean that's going to happen. You know, so when a bullish move happens, then they're all like, oh, crap, everyone was bullish. What's going on now? You know, and that's because bias got in your way. You screwed yourself before you even had a chance. You know, so never apply bias to any chart, even if it looks like it's more bearish or bullish. Always think of the opposite side. What's going to happen? Like, what's going to hurt you to sit there for another few more minutes and say, okay, look, this is what bulls can do. This is what bears can do. That's not going to hurt you. Always be aware of what's possible for both sides. Good stuff. Oh, wow. He changed his name to Zach Hates Roblox. Had a trade go over 100% and happy to end in profit. Beautiful job, man. Protect those gains, man. Beautiful, beautiful job. Very happy for you. And didn't go over leverage. Good job. I'm beyond happy to hear that. And yeah, good job, Nox. I was on the phone when you hit your gains, but I wanted to tell you, great job, because I did see your gains. Very happy for you, man.
I put some lure on the day with increasing volume on this 10-minute now. National's pulling us down right now. XOM's breaking pre-market high. Apple's still trying to hold. So is Amazon.
Awesome, Arjun. Glad to see you, man. If you didn't take any trades today, definitely take time to review the pre-market prep and then check out how the charts did afterwards and see how could you have taken advantage of the opportunity. Therefore, next time in real time, you are ready to take advantage with full confidence, no hesitation. Have a good day, man. Preach, Knox, to preach. That is all it is. Oh, the story behind his name is that his name was, I already forgot the damn name. It was something loves Roblox. And then I figured out his name wasn't even that. His name was actually Zach. And then he also said he doesn't even like Roblox. So we were making fun of him because his name was like the opposite of what he really is. So he changed it to Zach Hates Roblox. It's all a big meme. Zach's a good guy. Exactly. I like how hybrid trading Cowboy said that. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. Don't feel FOMO, the fear of missing out. There will always be another trade. 100%. And that's what a lot of us need to get into our heads is you got to remember this isn't the only trading day. Like this isn't the last day ever. You're not going to die today. The market's not going anywhere today, right? So you're going to have more opportunity another day. And while we're having a really good high quality stream today, I have only dropped 340 frames, which is pretty minuscule. That's really, really, really good. That's 0.1% of every frame from this stream. That's really good. YouTube's on their A game today. I get my daughter Roblox cards like weekly. Dude, kids love Roblox. It's like the next Minecraft for like kids nowadays. Noxta. Still though, remember it's not about the money, it's about the process. The reasoning. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I know a lot of kids from like today's younger generations like Roblox over Minecraft, which blows my mind. Spy at 395 flat now. They really took a nasty fall from the 396.40. If you did enter a position under 396.40, you can take a good majority of your profits right here at 395.
Meta breaking yesterday low. Same with Microsoft trying to break yesterday low. Qs are at that same area. Bank's still pushing down. Going back to 393 this week.
At this rate.
If we break that, it's getting real ugly. Jobless claims tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Send us right back to where we sold off from.
Again, guys, just to repeat myself, if you played my daily watch list, right here is a great spot to scale out a majority of your profits on SPY. Preach, Noxta. That's the exact way to think. That is the difference between a mature trader and a non-mature trader. Knowing that single fact that you just said. The dollar's getting rippy. What's up, Daffy? How you doing, man? I think on the bigger time frame, I have a level right here. 394.30. Trying to stay awake. Yep, just a psych level. AMD getting some buyers at previous day open. Nvidia's at that higher low from previous day. Apple up and possibly rejecting today's open. They're fighting it right now. Meta trying to catch some base, previous day low. Microsoft also going to be under their previous day open. See if they fight back up or not. Data is the new oil, by far. Data is definitely one of the biggest things to be in these days. Why do you think the government's so good at it? You know, I just noticed from my watch list, I don't know if it's just been being special, but S-A-N-T-A. I spelled Santa, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, really. You're giving people nightmares.
You're a little late.
It didn't happen like they wanted.
Santa gave us coal, and then coal went to all-time high, and then eggs went to all-time high. Alright, I'm skipping this song. He's real.
Your 10-minute candle on SPY is not very strong. See if it takes out this low. Or we can catch support.
Big stick, Jesus. Oh my god. I did not think that's what I was about to read. And the red. Yeah, don't forget the red.
Microsoft starting to lose that yesterday low. Meta moving lower.
SPY new low of day.
XOM breaking opening price now. See if it's going to take out pre-market low area yesterday low.
For your information, I'm a Santa lover. Good, good. Can't have any Santa haters in here. Hate on me all you want, but you hate on Santa. I'd question humanity. Just imagine not believing he's real, dude. Couldn't be me. I was just kidding, by the way, guys. I didn't want to see SPY at 394.30. We're 40 cents away. This morning in pre-market prep, and you can go back and check me on it if you want, I said any amount of consolidation could lead to a good move. We got a good move. What were the outer levels that we talked about? We talked about 394, 396, and we talked about to the upside, we talked about 403 and 405. We talked about outer targets. Pretty good push from 396.40s down to 394.70 so far. I would say that 395, 394.30 is a good area, kind of range to look for possibility of things slowing down at. But as you guys can see, we just got a new low of day.
Always starting to come down a little bit more, but not much.
John Dillinger's girlfriend wore red too. Okay, y'all are too much now. At one point in her life, she wore red. I really do hope, though, that people go back and review any of the pre-market preps, because that is, I'm not joking. I mean, and I'm not one of those people. You guys know me. I don't sit here and go, oh, I called this out, I called it out. I have genuinely been calling out a lot of what's been going on every day before the markets even open. And it's really easy because I have time and process on my side. I go through the same stuff every single day. So it's really nice to see a lot of the levels working out again, even after what seemed like a crazy kind of start to our day. I mean, I think every single person here was a little dumbfounded at the initial open that we had, especially after the first hour went by and we were still within that same kind of $1.50 range. Really good movement, though, from that consolidation period. I love that it broke good levels, good volume. You know, that was nice. And it really tested everyone's patience today, because you did technically see a slight push above 400, but we never got a good close above. We got a good, here, I'll zoom in. We got a really good kind of long-legged doji kind of against the 400 as resistance, kind of like a hammer would do. It didn't really have a crazy amount of volume, which I think a lot of people would like to look for in these kind of candles at that particular spot, but it was still a really, really good rejection spot. Or was it Al Capone? I have no clue. You're still in the red, Max. I swear. It's messages like that that make my day. Today taught me patience and to not trade the range between the previous day. I mean, you can trade between those areas. I just don't like to trade between those when they're close. When they're close, it's basically telling you, hey, nobody has control here. I mean, you'll see big moves through there, but you shouldn't necessarily start entering new trades in that range, especially when they're that close. Caught 19% on the Apple move down, holding a runner to the previous day close / pre-market low. If we can get there, it's looking likely with overall market weakness. Good job, Misi. Beautiful, beautiful job. Awesome, disciplined patience, Matt. Bow of respect. For real, Misi's on fire, Sonia. But when is Misi not on fire? Let's be honest.
Still drifting down. Microsoft picking up under that yesterday low.
Just checking through these extra charts, see what's still moving down or not. Apple's still weak. Amazon, bit of load. My TOS is lagging now. Amazon getting some nice selling pressure still. Man, that was not a joke level. I'm glad I brought that up whenever JBake was posting that, but he was not joking about the Microsoft under 240. Look at that, 236.50s are hitting. What a crazy play. Meta completely wiping out that initially strong open. I mean, they weren't as strong as Apple and Amazon, but they were up there. They were like third place, you know, and look at them now. Now they're down almost 1.5%. Apple and Amazon, the only green stocks on my chart right now, or on my list. So they're still defending ever so slightly. But still, I mean, that's just wild to see everything reverse just so effortlessly, it felt like. Amazon coming down to their previous day close as I say that. Same for Apple. Probably go smack those and see if they can hold them or not. And if not, we will be seeing a continuation down. But don't be surprised if for the next, 10, 20, 30 minutes you get some consolidation. It's a little too early in the day for me, Caroline. Love the last name if that's your last name. But I'll show you, yesterday in the Power Hour stream, we talked about possibility of a good, movement towards 140s. We almost got that, not quite. So that was a good initial opening for them, and they just could not hold any levels, so they pulled back now. So it's a little early, in my opinion, to say just instantly grab puts, because they have broken a good resistance. So, again, I think it's just too early to say. So far, it is a good seller candle, though. The day is not over yet, though. Lowering volume on SPY Poots. Elon selling routers said Twitter revenue's down 40%. We'll have to see. I doubt he sells that quick, though. But again, I mean, anything could happen. I know this is all in your courses / videos, but if you have a second, can you go over a high level of what you would like to see for a buy the dip type of entry? It's just nice to hear it live, only if you aren't busy. Yeah, I mean, no problem. Right now though, Phil, let me just get that out of the way first. This is not where you should be looking right now. You need to wait till you see some slowdown first. Remember the rules though, and write this down. Seriously, if you have actually watched my course, my videos, any of the breakdowns I've done, then you know the rules, right? But I'm gonna go over them again. 1. Wait for a low to be made, right? You need to wait for a low to be made. 2. Wait after first push / relief bounce to see interest in that area. I'm gonna have to do this. 3. Watch for low of first move to hold. This could mean a higher low or a double bottom. Right? Then you want to look for a rising volume move past that first high or past whatever happened. A lot of the time I tell people though, when you look in my videos, and this is why I say go to my videos, because I hate turning on indicators during the stream. But the 9 EMA is a really good indication. And right now, again, just to reiterate, this is not the time to be looking at this yet. There's not even been a low established yet. We're still just selling. Haven't gotten a new or a low to hold yet, right? So you get the low, first rule. And I'll keep this zoomed out so you can see it. So you want to look for the low. And this is kind of a bad spot to do this, but let's just say this is the low of the day, right? And then they go up and they make this buyer move. They touch the 9 EMA, whatever. You know, they come back down. And then they do what? What is this? A higher low. You know, and it's whatever. If they come down and hold this as a double bottom, they perfectly hold the same exact level. Who cares, right? It's essentially the same thing. It's showing an interest in that area, an interest in that level. That's what you want to see hold as support. So you want to have your base. That's essentially what your base is the low and the second low or the higher low, right? On this move that happens from here, not only do you want to see it break that first high, that first little relief bounce high, because again, you got to remember, this bounce that first happens is a relief bounce. What does that mean? Well, they're too tired from selling too much. So you're not getting a bullish bounce, you're just getting a relief bounce. There can't be any more selling, so buying occurs, right? That's what you're seeing when you're seeing that first bounce. So you never want to be a part of that run. Yes, it can definitely recover from that first run, but it's not as likely, and it's not as easy to catch with an accurate, disciplined trade. Again, getting into something that makes sense. You don't want to just enter randomly. So you want to look for that second recovery level where it's definitely going to be buyers, because now they've established that this is a base build. We already established that, right? So now that they've established that's a base build, then you look for rising volume over the 9 EMA or over that first high for a good candle close. Anything past that, it's looking to most of the time in my videos, you'll see me break down that today's open is most of the time the key level. And this scenario is a great way of kind of showing you various kind of variants, I guess is what I'm trying to say, of what happens after that breakout. You know, you can see today's open's way up here at 399. Is it really fair for us to say above that high we can look for 399? No. So what would be a feasible target for this run? Where we fell from? 396.40. That's literally on the list. Below 396.40 for more downside, right? What would be a good secondary target? This area. The first area that we looked at for puts to finally break down, right? So you'd be looking for here, then you'd be looking for this general vicinity here. But for the most part, you'd want to sell into that first area. Again, kind of tying back to my getting the first target to be your main concern. Dustin Reed, you might need to leave the stream and rejoin. It seems like you are the only one, though. I haven't seen a whole lot of people say I'm cutting out. Somebody even said you were lagging earlier. So you might need to leave and rejoin the stream. It's public, so it shouldn't be hard to find. But Phil, is that good, though? Is that everything you were looking for? And you'll see me break that down. If you watch the videos, again, I'll show you where in case anybody else wants to. Oh, if you're on your phone, Dustin, that's probably why. Because most people are saying that it's good. If you're on your phone, it's probably just your connection. But guys, if you are looking for more content or
a more description on that kind of entry, go to my playlist. Go right here. Base build by the dip strategy. View full playlist. I only have 5 videos in there. It's not like it's anything crazy. Go through this. Check it out. It's a really awesome breakdown. Also, my most popular recent video, the workshop number 11, there's also a part of this video where I go over that entry in here on Square on a trade we actually took in the stream too. So you can check out that video as well. Totally fine, Phil. I understand it. And yeah, if people are getting lag, because I don't have any lag on my end, we're actually having the best quality stream on my end that we've had in a while. It's probably just YouTube. Nothing I can do about it. Just leave and rejoin.
Sometimes just backing up 2 or 3 seconds helps too.
True that.
XOM broke that yesterday, pre-market low, coming down.
What a crazy day. I just look at the 5-minute, Phil. If you want to add other confirmations from other time frames, it's only going to increase your probability. So you definitely can. I'm not going to stop you. I was just saying I personally don't. Oh, good call out. Whoever said that, boo-boo. Microsoft is getting a little bit of a reversal there. Good call out. Perfect timing for Apple, too, because remember, they're going down to their previous day close. They just smacked it. I said that during this candle here a few minutes ago. I also talked about Amazon at that exact time, talking about testing their previous day close. They've gone down, broken it. They held it above with candle closes. They never broke under it and held. They just kind of broke it and then pulled back up. And now they're trying to get a little bit of relief bounce on it. So Apple and Amazon bouncing off the exact same spot right now, while Microsoft tries to get some buyers to relief in here, which they're under previous day open. So that's a very significant level to go retest.
You know what's crazy, Josh?
What's up?
After all this price action, SPY's only down 0.8%.
Yeah, we haven't really moved much on the bigger time frames.
No, not at all.
I love seeing my bigger time frame levels work out though. That was clean. Got a break under that level. Getting a little bit of a relief movement here. And I said it yesterday in the Power Hour stream. Yesterday was a 50-50 candle. You know, you could have seen this as a reset for a continuation higher. You could have seen this as a slowdown before a reversal. You know, this was a really good 50-50 candle. You could even see it today, too. You guys heard me talk about the higher and lower open. We even got the higher open and still got the reversal back down. They just couldn't get back over that 400. That was essentially the area to get above. Also talked about, again, check out the pre-market prep. I don't just speak out of my ass. I explain everything before it happens, and then we review what happens. What I want to see now is, can we hold this old gap fill area? Because we've already filled the gap, but can we hold 394.30? Because if not, there is a very good chance we want to go test this little low here from this day, and then maybe even go fill that gap. So again, would not be surprised to see that, maybe even see a wick up from there and then see a possible reversal back up. Who knows? But I could definitely see it. AMD fighting previous day low. Nvidia still fighting that higher low from previous day that we talked about. Really appreciate the way y'all are teaching us how to fish. Love it. No problem, Miles. Definitely glad to be here. And we have definitely pissed off our fair share of traders that just love to gamble and trade and always bitch about certain things. But it seems like we are definitely providing for the majority that is more mature, looking to just kind of take things as they are, learn, understand that things are not going to be given to you. You have to earn them. So I am very happy to have a very mature community around me. It really does mean a lot to me. Okay, you're not actually related to Jerome Powell or making fun of Powell. Your last name is actually Powell. Okay, well, I apologize then, because I did make that joke. That's pretty funny, though, either way. Came to admit that I ballsed up. I've done it before and you think I learned, but I thought, but swing on PFE. You realized you bought a call. Come on, man. Pay attention, Jack, when you're clicking through your contracts. We've definitely all been there, though. I mean, how many times have you guys ever clicked on the wrong side on accident or just been so caught up in the chart and then you end up clicking the wrong side? I've definitely done that before. Yeah, all sectors are red, even XLE. Good eye, Isaiah. I'm really happy we've been making the smaller watch list because I feel like it makes quality plays pop up, just having a smaller list, but also focusing on less, but it also leaves it to where I can see the sector watch list easier too. So now you guys can see every bit of it. I don't have to sit there and go read it off. We can just see it now. This is a great day. Use the levels, buy time, relax. Preach, Barack. Preach, Burak. Boo Rock, BB family. For real, Boo Rock has not been a part of our Discord that long, and he already feels part of the family. Very awesome. It's nice seeing those energies collide. Like I said, man, we only have leaders around here. We do not have sheep. Everybody that's in my chat, that's active, that engages and interacts, they are leaders. We do not raise sheep. Got a little bit of a base here. Nothing crazy. Definitely very short, very minimal. Nothing crazy here yet. Good start, though. Don't beat yourself up too much, Jack. Knowledge is power and key, and I can't thank you guys enough for setting up this course and stream. The amount of energy is awesome. Appreciate you, Dustin. I really do. I love this group. I mean, because it's not just me. It's not like you guys come in here and it's like, all right, let's just pay attention to what Bueller's watching. Like, no, I interact with you guys so much. I say what y'all's plays are. You know, I come out and I try to interact with everybody, engage. It's really a team effort thing more than it is, oh, let's tune in and see just Josh. Like, no, it's everybody's working together. Max. Great play on Apple if you look. Rook VWAP entered the gap. Mid-low. Nice mental trade. Kind of going back and looking at it like that. You love the BB court. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad you like it because, yeah, we definitely worked hard on it. I've added a lot of new information on there, but not really new. It doesn't really mess up anything. Just kind of added more information from what's already there. But glad you like it, though. Got Devin here too, always calling out. For real. Josh is my name. That's why I said Josh, my bad. Probably should have made that clear. Bueller is my alias, Josh is my name.
Boo's just joshing.
They finally touched the 9 EMA. Slowing down. The thing to look for now is to continue watching them hold this support and then finally get a rising volume pop over that 9 EMA. All you have right now is a short-term base build, though. You don't have a better, more long-term or mid-term base build where you get one major low and then a second major low at a higher low or a double bottom. Either way, you want to look out for one of those. But nice to see them at least do the first part of this, is going up and smacking that EMA. It's the only indicator I actually do enjoy looking at. I think a lot of people should get used to using it for not just getting into trades, but also holding trades. Oh, you were messing with me. My bad, boo-boo. My little boo-boo. 132 is the 50% fib on Tesla. Could call out Mel. You still in trades, Mel, or are you good? You just chilling? You just updating shit? Time for sushi lunch for reward of great day trading. Good stuff, man. I hope you have a lot of sushi then. Go get you a bunch of spicy rolls. Get you a shaggy dog or something. Some fried rice. No trades? Alright, I was just checking on you. Saw you get a couple bangers earlier. Now you're chilling. That's good to hear, man. I am relieved. Bro, I'm hungry after hearing him say sushi and then me thinking of fried rice. Preach, hybrid trading, Cryboy. You're 100% correct. That's exactly why you guys always hear me preach mental trading and visualizing. Visualizing is one of the most used words in our chat. Because visualizing is what helps you understand. Visualizing helps you grow confidence, empower, get more knowledge. Then over time, you see that next opportunity pop up, and it's something similar to what you've seen before, where you're like, damn, I'm ready to pounce all over this. You know, that's all your opportunity. So it's definitely cool. Pokeball with a couple rainbow rolls. Man, he said Pokeball. I was thinking of this Mongolian place. That place is so good. I haven't been there in forever. I'm gonna have to go try it out again.
I love Mongolian places.
Dude, this one place is crazy. You like choose your meat, choose the seasoning, you choose like everything they put in it, and then you get to like witness them cook it. Like they take your bowl, like you prepare it, and they cook it. That's all they do. It was so good. What's up, Henry D7658? Genghis Grill, thank you. Yes, Hidden Lant J. Yes, you got it. My man, they had, I don't know if it's still here or not, but they had one here a while ago. But yes, that is exactly what I was talking about. Sashimi, nigiri, or rolls. Damn, I might have to say sashimi, to be honest. I don't really have a favorite, to be honest. I haven't eaten that much of it to have a favorite, but I just know I like it a lot. That's pretty crazy, though. You devoured like 40 salmon in a row, no problem. Must have been some good sake, huh? Hard reject off that 5-minute 9 EMA, seeing if it can build a higher low base here now, like you were talking about earlier. And yeah, that was just an example. I don't know if I'd be looking for that quite yet, just until we get a better base here, because I really just see this as kind of a bear flag. I really don't see this as like a good base build yet. I want to see a better buyer move happen. I want to see it hold a higher low. I want to see it build off of that. Still a lot more proving grounds for this to be a better, you know, BTD type look. Plus, you also have to assume, are they pricing in the next CPI meeting? You know, are they already pricing all this in? You know, it's essentially what most people are probably going to blame today on. Yeah, exactly. It's also lunchtime, low volume, consolidation. 100%, Phil. I like your thought process. I know you're just throwing it out there to kind of think about it, and I think that's very smart. Amazon is getting some good buyers. Like I said, they have a chance of holding that previous day close. So far, good bounce from them. Did Apple make a new low? Yeah, Apple broke that previous day close. Amazon's by itself now. Amazon is the lone wolf. Bum, 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 bum. Good call out though, Daffy. Glad to see somebody's on it. Triple Q struggling at the previous day low still. Good call out, Isaiah. I love these call outs where you'll just talk about an initial ticker and you talk about a level that makes sense to everybody. That's what I like about the system too. It's repeatable. It's easy to remember. And after more time goes by, a lot of us will be calling out the same stuff here and there. And it's very awesome to see that whenever you look at something and someone says it right at the same time. It's kind of funny. What's up, J-Lamp? As a member of another paid Discord with older hosts, I have to say that you, Bueller, especially at your age, are much more knowledgeable. Heard about you from Keanu on a podcast. Awesome, man. I'm very happy to hear that. And thank you. Really do appreciate that. I'm not one to boast about myself, so thank you. I will be pretty cocky about my levels. I am very, 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 very passionate when it comes to talking about these levels because I have seen them time and time again prove everyone wrong. These levels are insane. I love the TA routine using price history alongside, just short-term price history. It's kind of really all we're doing, really, is we're adding price history of the chart's entirety plus short-term price action, that previous day, the pre-market. I mean, it's just price history. That's all we're really trading off of. So it's really cool to have kind of a what feels like a simplistic system. It's actually a little bit more complex than that, of course, when you start to dive into it more. But it all kind of comes together the more you look at it, the more you go through it. Shut up, Ruben. Did that today and sadly did not work out for me. Nothing more painful than clicking the wrong side and losing money. Yeesh. I was just kidding, Ruben. Please don't shut up. Are you flirting? It gives us the map. It's just a matter of what route if we want to go. It wants to go 100%. Like I said, conditional. Ow. It really is barcoding. That's a pretty good way of putting it. They're painting the wall. I was a little interested to see if under 396.40 would it actually go to 394. That's why I said take profit at 395 because I wanted to be passive for you guys. But I think it's very impressive. It took out that entire range. I mean, a two and a half almost dollar range. That's pretty significant, and we just took that out with no problem. And that was after already experiencing a good drop from the initial range. Then we got that. So sellers were definitely strong today. Now I appreciate you, Ruben. I was just trying to be toxic. I appreciate you, though. Hybrid Cowboy is cool. Yeah, he's alright. He alright. Apple and home market is ripping down. Amazon rip back up. For real, Amazon's the lone wolf right now. Staircase up, elevator down. Top to bottom spies move like 2%-ish. Yeah, dude, it's insane. It's a lot of movement. But in reality, you go to the bigger time frame and it's like, oh, we're just still here. We haven't really moved significantly from anywhere big. We've just kind of left resistance, really. They even gave buyers a chance this morning. Higher open. They even tested it. Buyers just didn't have any, follow through for that breakout. That trapped a lot of people. On the pullback, I almost assume a lot of people started buying the dip again. And as they did, price started pulling back very rapidly. It's probably why we were able to take out that bottom part there with no problem. Because you have people closing long positions. You have people picking up more short positions. So I'm really not surprised to see it back down to where it is. You got to remember, too, we were in consolidation here. I'll show you. We were in consolidation for over an hour, right? This size move that just came down from 398.50 all the way to 394, this size move could have happened to the upside today. It really was 50-50 until you saw the break. So, just wanted to say that to you again. It wasn't... It's really easy now to be like, oh, I should have grabbed puts right up here, dude. Why didn't I do that? It's so easy to say that afterwards. It is not easy to think of that while you are looking at it happen live. So don't beat yourself up. That's exactly why I say review, visualize as much as you possibly can, because that's what's going to help you. Therefore, next time, you're not sitting there freaking out. You're able to actually pounce on the opportunity. This happens. Once we get enough people, maybe we can make a run like GameStop did. I do not want to do anything close to that. But yes, if we did do something like that, I would pick something way better. I agree with that part. Satire. Thank you, Max. Much love. Okay, he's not talking to me. We appreciate you for doing this, sir. You drop gems left and right for us that can't yet be in Discord yet. Cheers for that. No problem, man. Very happy to have you. Regardless of you being in Discord or not, very happy to have you in the streams. A couple times, Phil. Mainly on my swing trades. I wouldn't necessarily say a day trade. I got caught in one like that because a lot of the time I'm aware of what kind of news is revolving around the market by then. So I wouldn't say it's happened to me for a day trade, but for a swing trade, yes. There's been trades where I get in, and then the next day or overnight, some big news comes out, or even worse, which happens a lot of the time, a downgrade happens or an upgrade happens, and the next thing you know, the stock price is completely to the opposite side that I need it. And when that happens, a lot of the time, sometimes I'll wait to see, can I get some of this back by like holding base and building back higher, or a lot of the time, and this is what I normally do, I just cut the position and move on from it. Because news, catalysts, these are a few things that kind of get in the way. You know, it's not something you have any control of or any awareness of. You know, you just have to take it. And that's why it's important not to risk, you know, large portions of your account in single individual trades. Therefore, let's say something out of your control or some uncontrollable variable happens and it ruins your position. You know, what are you going to do? Well, you can cut it and you can remember, oh yeah, this isn't 20% of my account. This doesn't hurt me. You know, move on. You liked the risk that happened before it. Some news wasn't really favorable towards you and shit happens. But there are some scenarios where you'll catch yourself being able to recover some of that play, which you shouldn't be looking to think about or do. You shouldn't even be imagining how you can recover your play. Because then you're just going to cause yourself to enter more risk into the position, and the next thing you know, you're losing even more, and it's just, it's a dark hole. Don't go down it. Never let the things you can't control you, if that makes sense. But I think I'm going to end the stream here. Right now, I'd say for the rest of the day, you guys need to look for this to try to build some base into lunchtime. We're already in lunchtime. It's already past noon in New York. But right now, you guys need to be paying attention to if we're going to continue holding this base. Can we continue holding 394? And if we can definitely get a good buyer move before the end of the day. And vice versa. If we continue holding base and we break a new low, we could definitely have a good secondary leg down from this move to the downside again. So be very careful of that. On the bigger time frames, as I was just showing y'all a few moments ago, we made a really, really nice move, and you can see just how accurate they were on the smaller time frame. Perfectly hit it. But on the bigger time frame, and we talked about this yesterday in Power Hour stream and in yesterday's pre-market stream and during the day stream. But as you can see, we broke under this candle, broke 396.30s, and we made our way all the way to 394.30s. The next thing we're going to be looking out for is kind of a combination of this candle here, the low of this candle, and this level here. If we can break that general area, then we will probably go down and try to penetrate and fill this tiny gap fill down here first. And then we can start to reevaluate and say, all right, well, we're either looking for a good bounce from here, or we're going to be looking for a continuation down to the more major level in between 386 and 388, where price broke out from that 13 to 14 day consolidation period. So we will be looking to see what's going to happen there. If we end up getting a bounce, there's plenty of levels above. We've already talked about how important 400 is today many, many times. 403, 405, 407, 412. So we'll be looking at all these levels in the near-term future. I do wish all of you a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to tune into the Discord if you want to drop your own updates or continue engaging with everybody during the day. But I do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys later on. Please drop a like on the stream, and have a great rest of your day.